Hi, this is Jim from Vaudevisuals. I'm here with Isaac and Alex from the delightfully beautiful and upcoming performance space in Williamsburg called the Brooklyn Art Haus. And it is one deluxe venue for any kind of crazy, wonderful activities. A gallery, restaurant, bar, performance space. I mean, I think I've shot 6 or 7 shows already there. It's just it's really a treat to be there. I really love the space. The community is really coming on board, and let's hear about like how you started this space and what was the impetus for your beginning to build such a wonderful and delightful venue.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago, Isaac and I met. We around the same time coming out of the pandemic had a very strong singular vision to really want to create a space that would foster up and coming artists and as we often talk about when when in a time when the pandemic when a lot of places were shutting down there was there's a lot of new ideas for how to creatively facilitate a performance space. And Isaac and I were connected, and we developed some ideas as we did apartment shows in my apartment for a few months, and we courted each other over a period of time on what we exactly wanted out of a space like this. And December 15th of 2021 or 2022,
One.
2021, we made it formal and hit the ground running. We scouted for 9 months different spaces, and we landed on where we are currently. And we hit the ground running. I'll let you take it from there.
Our backgrounds as performers and theater makers, for myself in devised theater, um, we've been accustomed to renting around the city, a number of venues, which thankfully, you know, exist for a variety of purposes. But something that we realized through the discovery period was that these spaces exist 3 floors up or 2 floors down and are very limited in what they're able to do, not necessarily because there's a lack of vision necessarily, but also because of just the infrastructure of the city always needing to be vertical with such limited space, or a community board, or a zoning issue, or a landlord that says, hey, you're not able to do all the things that maybe you might be able to do. And where we find ourselves in our time without really any government funding for arts in this culture, we model a lot of this on a lot of European styles of generating community around art spaces, specifically the Young Vic in London and the Schaubühne in Berlin, where there are these beautiful all-day cafes where if we look at this sort of artistic process, so many of our ideas are shared over a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, both in developing an idea and in celebrating that idea after that's been realized. And so we've developed a self-incubating organization that has the mission of a nonprofit, but the execution of an LLC, so that between these multiple revenue streams, we can continue to sort of subsidize the art that's moving through the spaces, and all together at rates that are very, very low, and in an environment that's very alluring and hospitable and not made of cinder blocks that are shades of gray with uncomfortable furniture.
As you can see, we're in Studio One, one of our two rehearsal studios, and rather than just having white walls, we decided to add splashes of color to kind of add a sense of warmth and comfort and add a quality of elevated, and that you're feeling more elevated in a cozy home rather than just in an abundance of the rehearsal studios that exist in the city. So the sum of our parts are we are a smaller rehearsal studio, a slightly larger rehearsal studio, the performance space, the theater, and then a bar cafe and kitchen, and as well a lounge with gallery that exists both in the lounge and the cafe. So with all those pieces working together, we are just a space that you can spend your entire day and enjoy, as Isaac always says, the whole artistic process from start to finish, developing your idea, rehearsing your idea, executing your idea, and celebrating your idea afterwards.
And I think that a number of things that sets us apart from other similarly sized, specifically performance spaces in the city, is that our programming is a bit different. We curate our the programming that happens in this space in a number of different ways. Ultimately, we are an organization that prioritizes original stories with innovative methodologies, with a heavy emphasis on multiculturalism, and ideally with topics that are speaking to the moment. So we are not necessarily a venue that is taking a lot of restagings. We are focusing on people who are alive right now and breathing important words into the time that is very consequential that we live in right now. And so the way that we do that is we have a focus for each month that loosely follows the almanac, but also what's happening in our socio-political environments. And we kind of weave the programming around that. On a weekly or a day-to-day structure, we're open at the moment for 6 days out of the week. And we have pricing and programming at the top of the week that includes variety and circus and comedy, and then towards the end of the week, full runs of productions and film screenings and private events and nightlife, because we designed the versatility of all of the spaces in unison, but particularly in the theater, to be able to facilitate changeovers fairly seamlessly, because in the end, it's between 99 to 110 seats, standing or sitting, with a crew here that from day to day goes through 1 to 3 performances in a very easy lyrical way, but also for companies, they don't have to break their banks and their back having to mount one show, and though they might have exclusive access to a space, they're spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a week to rent that space and maybe not receiving quite a return on that investment that they're making with their time. And so we pride ourselves on trying to dismantle the pay-to-play model, and we are not charging artists a single cent to sign a production agreement with us. And so we're really trying to, on the programming front, but also on the equity front, try to provide an alternative for artists to be able to access high-quality space in New York City.
And I would add from a technical front is we are a flex space. So what you see in the first hour or the first slot of programming could feel like a completely different environment from what you'll follow the second slot. And I think there's a lot of pride in the fact that we can create these vastly different environments just with a shift of staging, because we are a flex space rather than a set proscenium theater or anything like that.
And what that space has included up to this point as well is between the 8 to 12 shows that we do a week, those are split between theatrical runs, dance performances, aerial circus performances, variety and comedy, private events, receptions, fundraisers,
bridal showers.
Yes.
My wife had a bridal shower here.
So there's a lot of different ways that we are designed to really support the community and yes-and projects rather than limiting them, which feels really, really exciting and good to be able to, again, provide a very, very personable way of caretaking projects and artists to the space, and asking not saying goodbye, but asking questions of how we can continue to be a home base for artists, companies, and their work, which is why we call it the house. We're very intentional about how we want people to, or how we rather invite people to feel when they're here.
To claim the space, to feel the warmth and the support that everyone seeks.
Well, you're doing a damn good job.
We've pitched this. We've been able to kind of articulated this concept over time, just as we've grown as a business and as business partners. So you find that we've really learned what our touch points have to be when we talk about this place, because we want to be succinct and express the things that mean so much to us.
And it's been a deep gift to be able to see how the community has reverberated that back to us, and how people who have just been unaffiliated from us, be it a friend or a colleague, come to us and let us know how it's affected them, either through direct address or social media, or bringing their projects to us because it said this and they felt that. The spider web of artists and companies continuing to weave through this space and feel so much of this intention, this true mission of this space has been very, very validating. And again, a dream come true for us as we continue to build.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, Jim.
I mean, it's you capsulized it beautifully. I would say. I think you guys are very successful in what you're undertaking, and so far so good. I mean, it's just you're rocking the house. I mean, it's just beautiful shows I've seen, and the people that are there, and the people that run the shows, and everybody's so delightful, and the help that you've hired are all just really, really great people. So it makes a big difference. It really makes a big difference. I mean, I think like in my book that I did that came out a couple of years ago. Like I think there were like 30 venues that I had captured photographs in over the years, over that last decade, and I'm just joyed to see your space come alive because it's really doing a service for everybody, and thank you very much for the interview. It was awesome to hear what your intention was, and what happened when you started this wonderful escapade. And I look forward to spending more time at the Brooklyn Art Haus.
And Jim, I have to say, just I'll always say this about you. It's always such an honor, just as a friend, but also just what your career has been and your path has been. That you've been able to spend so much time with us and add us to your roster of venues that you document. I mean, it's been a huge honor that you've incorporated us into your portfolio that way.
You're a big gift to the community, Jim, and we're very grateful to
Oh,
be.
thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys making such a wonderful space and venue for bringing so many great people together. So we'll talk soon. I'll see you tonight, and thanks for the interview. Have a good one. Take care.
Jim, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.